Good morning, tribe. I'm in a very random location. You can take that out of my ear because it's not doing anything right now. I'm in the coffee bar or the cafe at the church, and there's JP. Say hi, JP. He's one of our interns. There's Gabe. Say hi, Gabe. Gabe, say hi. Hi. Thank you. Voice crack. All right, so this is part 3. If y'all have watched part 1 and part 2, you the champ. Best friends right there. I see you. Part 1 was like why we left California. Part 2 was going to San Antonio and Houston. And now part 3 is the whole journey of interviewing and moving to Dallas. I think, because I actually haven't watched this footage yet, or I have, but it was a long time ago and I don't remember what it's all about. So your guess is as good as mine. And let's just get on with the show, okay?
So we interviewed at a lot of places all over the country again, and I saw this ad for Tyler Street Church. I didn't know that it was a United Methodist at the point, but I've been applying to United Methodist because our theology is pretty similar. And every United Methodist is different. They got some that are way liberal, some that are way traditional and conservative, and some that are so contemporary you wouldn't even think they were a United Methodist church. And they have United Methodist churches that are 14,000, 17,000 people, mega churches that are all over the place. So I wasn't hesitant to apply to United Methodist, knowing that people who are in the UMCs will probably get the job before me. But I saw this job. It was close to the salary that we would want. And more so it worked because it came with really nice housing. And we've seen some church parsonages before, and they were not really nice housing. But this one said really nice housing, and so I applied and made it to the first round. Of course, I always do. And got a phone interview. And then the phone interview, then you go to the search committee, a video conference interview where they ask you a bunch of questions.
This is pretty standard for all churches, in case you're wondering what it's like to apply for a pastoral position.
And it went phenomenal. Great interviews, great chemistry. And I asked them, because I did the interview the beginning of July, and I said, so what's your timeline? I'm thinking 3-4 months, you know. And they're like, well, we want to hire in July. I said, oh, praise the Lord.
Jesus!
Hallelujah. And so we said, that's amazing. We're all on board. And then didn't hear anything for about a week, which is standard. Normally you don't hear anything back for a couple of weeks after.
Yeah, because they're interviewing the rest of the people, and then they got to meet as a board and all that kind of stuff. Church positions take way longer to hire because a lot of the people making the decision don't work at the church. It's a board of elders, so they gotta get them all together on their time off and all, and they only usually meet once a week and all sorts of stuff. So if you're applying for a church position, be patient.
And so then I wasn't hearing anything, and we were getting ready to go to California the weekend of the 3rd and 4th of August to celebrate Gabriel's 13th birthday and his party, and also celebrate my dad's birthday, which was on the 4th. And so I said, I hope that they don't want us to come up again for like the last interview on that weekend, because they wanted to hire in July. So I called the search committee, and sure enough, they wanted us to come out that weekend on the 4th. And we found out later they actually just wanted to hire us even before.
Well, like half of them wanted to just hire us right then and there, and then the other half wanted to do the due process of bringing us out and everything. Which I totally, if I was on the staff or the committee, I would want to bring the person out too. I don't know.
And so she's like, no, don't cancel your trip. You just come out the following week. And we want to have you come out to run a youth service on a Sunday night, meet the staff, come to both of our services, check out the parsonage, check out the school, so that you can really have a solid, you know, are we feeling each other here? And so we went to California. Gabriel's party was amazing. Got to celebrate my dad's birthday.
I'll be posting a couple videos from San Antonio and Gabe's birthday after this one in the next coming week, so stay tuned for that.
And then, so the weekend went great. We left Gabe there. His friend's parents offered to fly him back home later in the week, which was phenomenal. So Nikki and I took our time coming back to Houston and did a nice little road trip again in our little cruising through America in a Motel 6 journey. And
sorry, I have something in my eye.
You have a fay on your eye. So we got back to Houston. But, well, before that, as we're road tripping back home, I had so much unsettled lack of peace for the job at Tyler, which was hilarious because I almost didn't go to my interview for my last job because I felt uneasy and I didn't feel like.
I didn't even realize that.
I want to say that earlier, but yeah, I just realized that.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? So I almost said no to the job that was perfect for us to get us through the season, and I almost said no to the job that we currently have now at Tyler Street. Sometimes you need to understand that uneasiness is not God telling you no, it's the enemy.
And honestly, we should have known, because even though you didn't have a lot of peace, what we had always asked God and what he had been faithful to do is close doors.
Yeah.
Because there were jobs that you were overqualified or you would have been great for, and the door closed.
Yep.
So we always ask God, just don't put the decision on us. Just close the doors that are meant to be closed and open the door that you want us to have. So the fact that we said no really was in error on our part because it wasn't following along with what we had done this entire time.
Yep. But it shows the goodness of God.
Yes,
so
Jesus.
I couldn't take the uneasiness anymore, and I sent Pastor a letter, an email, and just thanked him. I said, you know, I have other opportunities at Houston that could potentially allow me to work both jobs at the same time, which was true. And I just, you know, I got to go with my gut. I got to go with what I sense is peace. We love you guys. It has nothing to do with you. This job seems phenomenal, but I have to go with what I feel. Well, he texted me right after and asked to talk, and we talked, and this is the first time I've ever felt pursued. And let me tell you, after 2.5 years of applying, going through the ringer, coming up in second place, getting no's, getting doors closed in our face, feeling like we've given everything and getting no, and feeling so unfair. To have somebody pursue you was one of the greatest feelings I've ever felt in my life. And they basically said, we feel like this is God. I don't know why you have an unsettledness. What can we do to make this work? Honestly, it wasn't even what they did to help make it work for a better situation for our family. It was the fact that they came after me. So after I got done talking with Pastor and said, yeah, we'll go back to prayer. I take back my no. We'll pray about it, and we're still going to come up, because at that point I wasn't going to come up on that Sunday. I said, we'll still come up, we'll still go through it, and we'll be in prayer. And hey, praise God. Well, then after that, the lady who led the search committee, she called us, and the pastor hadn't told her that I changed my mind, that we're still coming. And she said she was so bummed. What a pleasure. I mean, who does that?
Yeah.
You know, like normally we don't even hear a no. They just don't call us back.
Y'all, you'd be so surprised how shady church committees can be. Not the one we got hired on for, but other churches that we have applied for. We'll call back in like a week and a half, and they're like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, we're going with something else.
Yeah.
You aren't going to tell us? Like, come on now. Like, I mean, just simple things of how a hiring process goes. Like, your church folk, come on now. You have the wisdom of the Lord. Let's be a little more kind, a little more thoughtful in this process. It's just pray.
And so, I came up to Dallas twice, right? We came up the first time.
We came up the first time to interview with an in-person, which there's a story, y'all. I think that story might have to go on Patreon because it's not family friendly.
No.
The devil's attack was not family friendly content.
Oh, that was just a Saturday interview.
Yeah.
And we didn't go to the services. We checked out the parsonage on the outside and saw, hey, nice neighborhood and you know.
So if you're not on our Patreon, you can join for it's $1 a month. We post life updates there and some content where we get into some nitty gritty type stuff, maybe some marriage stuff, different things isn't family friendly for our YouTube channel. So we'll find
out what we found in the hotel.
Yeah, find out that funky story on Patreon.
Anyways.
In a bit.
So that was the first trip. This was our second trip now to Dallas. So we went back up there and we went to the traditional service, wonderful. Went to the contemporary, beyond amazing. I met with a bunch of the students during Sunday school, and then I led the service at nighttime, which went really, really good.
God was lighting up people for me to talk to, that I needed to hear certain things from, that I needed to meet. I mean, it was just, perfect. Gabe kept laughing at us because he's like, you guys are like smiling from ear to ear. And it's like when you know you're in the peace of God and you're walking in the right path, in the right direction, especially after so long of searching, it just, you can't but smile from ear to ear. You're just overwhelmed.
And then they put us in a really nice hotel. We finally got out to Motel 6. We were in La Quinta.
La Quinta.
A brand new La Quinta.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Nice. And so then the next morning on Monday, early Monday, I met with the senior pastor and we just had a phenomenal chat. Our personalities are so knit and we complement each other very nicely.
Yeah, it's Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but I wear no tights.
And what's the biblical reference?
Jonathan and David.
Jonathan and David.
Yeah. So went really well, and so we left Monday lunchtime, got some McDonald's, and hit the road back to Houston, and waited. And we only had to wait a day because then on Tuesday night they were meeting with the committee again, and they called us right after. And
which that day, Monday and Tuesday up until the call, was like the longest day of my life.
And I had a third interview with the local church on that Monday night as well, and our AC was not working, so
it was terrible.
Hectic morning or hectic afternoon.
The devil was really all trying to just get us from every angle at this one.
And then that Tuesday, I had a third video interview for a church in Washington. There was a senior pastor position that was looking pretty good. And they really wanted me, and I was supposed to have a video interview with the headquarters of that denomination, and that was scheduled for 7. Well, at 6:30, I get the phone call from Tyler Street that says we got the job. They gave us a salary, and they told us, when we could start, which is basically ASAP. And since we lived in a trailer, we could do it ASAP. And so I called a half an hour before my last interview with this church in Washington and said, well,
sorry,
you didn't say no take-backs. So I politely and respectfully backed out of withdrew. And we said yes to Tyler and called a tow truck.
Which was a process again. I mean, the devil, not today, Satan.
The cheapest I could find a tow truck for was $800 to take us 215 miles. And our AAA only takes us 100 free miles. So I just kept calling. I just felt like I had to keep calling. And I got through to this guy that was recommended from a repair shop. And he only charged cash price one way, and it was way cheaper.
Yeah, it was only $500.
And so,
which it was only $1,800 to go from California to Texas.
Yeah.
So we were not about to pay $800 to go from Texas to Texas.
Yeah. And he was able to be there the next morning.
Yeah.
And which I shouldn't have snapped. And he was able to be there the next morning. And so he showed up at 7:30 in the morning. And we spent the night in a beautiful Motel 6. Motel 6 off of I-45. Notice I'm not Californian anymore. I didn't say the 45. I-45 and Kirkendall. If you're in Houston area, the Motel 6.
If you're not in the Houston area, if you're traveling anywhere from Texas to California and you need a Motel 6
recommendation.
Help me, Jesus.
That is it's as good as the La Quinta.
Okay, but wait, you didn't let me finish. If you need a Motel 6 recommendation from Texas to California, you let us know because we have gone through them all.
And so we... Thursday morning. We hit the road. We were packed up. I put the family in the hotel, and I spent Tuesday night in the middle of a wicked lightning and... Wednesday night. In the middle of a wicked lightning storm and downpour. Packed up the RV. And then the next morning, we got our monsters and our snacks and hit the road. And
yes, we know they're bad for us.
Yeah. And so, just help me, Jesus. And made it to the parsonage, and our RV arrived shortly after. And this whole week, we've been slowly moving in. And I've been in the office now 2 days and just love the people I work with and are excited. I get to preach on the main services.
I'm going to try to sneak a video somehow.
Yeah.
How am I going to do that?
On the weekend services?
Yeah. Just video it?
Just
set up like a mini tripod?
Yeah.
You'd look forward for that.
So I get to preach my first adult weekend service in 279 days. Something like that.
We got to count.
Yeah. Almost a year of not preaching. I've never done that in 20 years.
Wow.
And so Then I also get to teach all the youth, and I'm going to be preaching at the branch, which, I mean, oh my God, these people are on fire. The branch college ministry, young adult ministry is ridiculously awesome. So yeah, I get to go back to my roots with my son and be in his world for youth. I get to preach to young adults who are walking in the supernatural, and then I get to preach services to adults and to seniors, and I'm just all around. I just preach my little booty off.
We're excited.
Super excited.
We did a tour of our empty parsonage, so
mansion.
That's on YouTube already. I'll link it above. And I think that's it. We're just gonna kind of start
go eat my chicken,
vlogging and doing some more YouTube stuff now that we're settled and back into a routine. So stay tuned for more exciting stuff. If there's things you want to see, let us know. Rudy cooking. We're definitely going to show you how we decorate the house on a eco minimalist, budget friendly style. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for loving on us, supporting us, praying for us, being there for us. Give this video a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe if you haven't. We love y'all. Bye, tribe.
Adios, tribu.
Done.
Peace. 3 flowers, grease.
How much more time do we have until the chicken?
It should be done now.
Really? I thought you said 45 minutes.